Hello ladies, welcome to day 2 body weight training, and I recommend going through this video with me the first time for your warm-up. And we're going right into a walk-out plank rotation. So you're going out into that high plank, keeping your wrists and shoulders aligned and just rotating from side to side, really keeping that hip nice and high, fully twisting the torso, feeling those obliques working for you. Next is a pop-up push-up. So notice that I go from that high plank, I drop to my knees, I lift my toes, I lower my chest to the ground, and then I'm back up again. Perfect. So you just want to get the chest down, use your toes to propel yourself up. This is a great way to train yourself to do a full-on push-up. Going into plie pulses now. So a nice simple plie, pointing the toes out to the side, keeping the back perfectly straight as if you were sliding it up against the wall, and just bounce that movement out, squeeze the booty. This is a great way to target that under butt area, and just kind of hold. You want to get as parallel to the ground as you can in that move. And we're going to go into an elbow plank with knee taps. So into a low plank, elbow and shoulder aligned. And you notice I'm driving that knee in and touching the mat. Driving it in, lowering, touching the mat. A modification would be just that low plank and tapping the knee left and right, just like that. Perfect. Next, I'm going to show you guys the cardio round for this. So we're going to start with a plank jack. You want to be in that nice high plank, shoulders, wrists, elbows in line, and we're jumping it in, keeping the back nice and straight, not dipping it. If that's too much, just tapping out left and right, really feeling the rotation in the obliques. Going in for mountain climbers, bringing that knee into the chest. Notice you can do them slow. You can jog them out to add a little more cardio to your workout if you like. Now we have our second round of exercises here. We're gonna get into bear position knee driver. So a bear, you wanna be like a box. So straight back, knees are hovering off the ground. You are propelled up on your toes. Your shoulders, wrists, and elbows are aligned, and you're just bringing the knees into the elbows, just like that. So just try to keep yourself in that nice tight box position. Hip thrust with kicks. So with a hip thrust, you want to have your palms pushing against the ground, almost anchoring you down. You're lifting and squeezing the butt, tilting the pelvis. Push out with that heel. Really flex that quad. Push out with the heel and flex the leg. Now, not the best angle, but here we go. We are coming up into a hip thrust. Come up on your toes, open the legs, or just stay there. Going up and down is totally fine, or up and onto the toes. Great moves to add in the band if you really want to work that booty. Moving on to walk out knee push-ups, starting in a standing position, hands to the mat, walk them out, drop to the knees, lower the chest, pop up just like you did in the first push-up, stand and raise your arms to the sky. Down to the ground, walk it out, drop the knees, raise the toes and chest to the ground, and push yourself up using your feet there. And we're going to be moving on now to hip thrust to a boat. So raising the hips, squeezing the booty. Notice how I tilt my pelvis. I place my hands down and I lift my knees up to 90. I raise my hips. I'm just going to do a crunch. That would be your modification if the boat is a little too much. And then you can try doing a more advanced boat by straightening your legs and arms. Progress with yourself. You know, some days you might only have the crunch in you. Some days you might have that straight leg boat. Moving on to the leg cross hip dips. So crossing one leg over the other one, you really want to focus on your shoulders and wrists being in a line together. Notice my elbows aren't flaring out to the side. They're going straight behind me. My hands are facing forward. I'm not thrusting my hips around. I'm lowering my body by bending my elbows. And you'll go from left to right with that move. Penguin taps. Spread your feet, tighten your core, get your shoulders off the ground, tuck your chin into your neck as to not hurt your neck. And you're just gonna waddle side to side, crunching those obliques, tapping the ankles. If you need to, you can lay your head, keep your head on the ground and just slide back and forth with your fingertips along your mat or floor. In and out leg extensions, placing your palms right by your hips. Elbows are bent. Roll your shoulders back so your back is straight. You're pulling your knees into your chest and leaning back, kicking out your heels, straightening the body. Really giving it a good angle there. So you want to get that momentum going. Push through your palms. You can just, if you need to, tap the feet in and out. See how I'm tapping my heels in and out instead of that full body extension? Still working your abs and core. We're moving on to the final round, side plank hip dips. So you want your elbow and wrist to be in line and your elbow and your shoulder to be aligned. And you want to get up and your goal is to keep that hip as high as you can. So let it drop and then push it up to that sky. You can place your hand wherever you like to. And we'll go over that in a second. But with this modification, I wanted to show you, you put your top leg in front of the bottom leg and you're using your foot as support and pushing the hip up to the sky. This next one's the intermediate. Scissor your legs out, place the hand either on the hip or up to the sky, lower down, push up to the sky, really trying to focus on how high you can get your hip. We're gonna go ahead and do the other side. Let's walk through it again. Shoulder and elbow in alignment. And I am stacking my feet, dropping my hip, bringing the hip back up to the sky. And that round, I'm keeping my hand nice and straight, my arm up, crossing that foot over, using the foot as support, pushing through that foot to assist you to get that hip up. Scissor the legs out for the intermediate, dropping and thrusting up to the sky. We're coming into the up and down plank. You're going to start from a low plank position, or a high plank position actually, excuse me. So you're going to lower yourself. Notice I'm going down and up on the same hand. Now I'm going down on that hand, coming up on that hand. I switch hands, down on that hand, up on that hand. If you need to modify this move, do it on your knees. Notice I am not at a 90-degree angle with my body. I'm at a 45-degree angle. You're still going to work your core this way. Keep the feet off of the ground should you choose to do the modification like we were doing in the push-up. High plank hip taps. So you're going to be in a nice high plank. Shoulders, wrists, elbows in line and rocking that body. Just tapping. If you need to, widen your feet for a bigger base of support. Tapping the left hand to the right hip, right hand to the left hip. And we're going. The final move of the workout, a 6-inch hold. So notice I'm placing my hands underneath my hips. That just gives me more support for my low back. I'm raising my shoulders and my head, tucking my chin, and I have my feet off of the ground. You can raise your feet higher or go for a 90-degree knee if you need to modify. Again, remember, progress, not perfection. These moves are meant